Hello everybody, I'm Tsubaki, also known as Tsubaki X Stationery here on the internet, and welcome to the final 2025 Midori Hibino flip through. Can't believe we're finally at December, and as usual, I do save these flip throughs to a playlist, which I will keep continuing even throughout 2026. I hope you're excited. As usual, I think if you've been here before, you already know the usual song and dance, but these flip throughs are for me to see what I did differently, what I did enjoy, and what I could improve on. But since this is the last month of the year, I actually want to try to have a little bit of a discussion with what the game plan is moving forward in 2026. Because I did quite a lot of experimentation in 2025, a lot of different mediums, a lot of, or basically just stress testing how these pages can hold up, right? So let's just jump into December, and then if anything, we'll flip through with maybe some highlights and how I want 2026 to go. And unfortunately, even though 2025 was coming to a close, the stress was at an all-time high. So as usual, I am happy that I at least put some PET tape down. In fact, I had a friend the other day that had a great mentioned a great idea where it's just like, even if you don't really have the energy to decorate, just putting a random sticker down, even if it doesn't make any lick of sense, could at least help you feel accomplished that you got something down on the page. And at least it would help you use up a sticker, even if, you never actually planned on using it. So, yeah, these are definitely the single PET leftovers here. I know as we get closer and closer to the end of December, I don't even use PET tape anymore because I have ran out completely. I think there was a lot of glare there. I did like this tape. It's just that I could not really get any ideas like what else I should probably do for like surrounding decoration, or I was just absolutely tired. Yeah, this one was a very large PET tape. I did basically fussy cut around this, but I was worried it was going to take over the entire page in general. Same with this one. As you can see, it just completely blocked out the little weather indicators on top. Like I said, some of these bigger ones, they're good when you really want to just take up the page and not put anything else, but you got to be careful, at least if you're like me and dedicated to the A6 size for life. Oh yes, one of the few ones I actually put like this is a sticker. This is actually like a really fancy like shatter effect sticker that I happened to put on before I had put down. I think I grabbed a few more of these butler looking guys from a swap. But I think you might be, or there might be a few more in here. Oh yes, this is probably one of the last ones I really attempted to decorate. I had a PET loop of these nice flowers here, and I had stuck them in sticker release notebook, but then I refound them and I was just like, oh, I could just use it with this pink haired boy right here because it kind of goes with him a little bit. Okay, these two stickers were from Sprinkle Shakers actually, because we had a little party this day, so people didn't realize there were stickers, and then they were just like, hey, why don't you use them? So they kind of just ended up here. So thanks guys. At least it's in a notebook now. I think it's good because like in a way it kind of reminds you of what you did that day. Also, it was such a great little holiday party. Oh, right, I remember this one. Yeah, this PT, I liked it, but I didn't like it because it had so much stuff here. I know it's kind of light. And I didn't want to cut each of these small little pieces, so I took a Sailor Shikiori marker, which, you know, I was also trying to check to make sure it was still good, and kind of used it to like draw some additional puzzle pieces, you know, just to try to fill it out, which I thought was a pretty good idea. Oh yes, this so this is where it's gonna get kind of interesting because I absolutely didn't have any more anime boys to continue the theme of this entire notebook. So once upon a time, I did in fact sell trading cards mostly for fun. I was collecting at one point. Now it's quite difficult, especially if you know how the market is now. So I basically stuck this extra Card Fight Vanguard overdress trigger card in here. But I do like overdress. I thought it was hilarious of a Vanguard to even have that as its own season. Oh yes, and I took this other extra force marker from Vanguard Zero. Yep. And stuck it in here as well. This is where I really was just like, I ain't got no other material, so we're gonna try. Okay, so I think most of the rest of these pages is actually stickers given to me by friends because they made them. Love having artist friends. So this was kind of a blessing, to be honest, because I basically, for the most part, I used up the entire sheet, or at least as much as possible, each day. They're mostly characters from like mangas and shows, but yeah, some of them I don't know, but they're pretty cute. This was a special day though. I went to the Kawaii Holiday Market and I did buy some Lord Conti stickers because love FLCL. So I was just like, why not? Just stick them in the journal. Makes sense to me. Oh god, this ink was like not having it. Yeah, I think I learned a painful lesson with switching a lot of inks, right, is that you could leave them in the inkwell, but over time they will evaporate and then start acting really weird on your paper. So if possible, try to use them straight out of the ink sample vial first, or the bottle, and then come like maybe the last 2 days that you're going to use it, then you can switch it to the inkwell and just, you know, go from there. Oh my god, yes. And then also from the holiday market, love Lace with Cherry. They make like super cute cosmetics, but they giving me a cute little sticker sheet, and I love Gloomy Bear. So here's Gloomy and Pity, just being cute, honestly. And I know it continues on into this page because I really was trying to use up the whole sheet of Gloomy so much. Bring it back. I feel like it would do people some good. Oh yes, some more stickers. Didn't do anything else here. I think at this time I was actually so hyper focused on trying to get mail out that I absolutely just did not really decorate. It was just more like just slapping stickers down and just hoping I could, you know, make the post deadlines, etc. Not to mention the increase with the holiday rates is already pretty oof. Oh yes, I think this is when I took a little adventure to the Bandai Namco store. That was fun. That was fun. Too bad I didn't have any like real ephemera for that. More Lord Conti. Had to do. I think this was actually Sailor Shikiori here too. Just trying to match the birds when he's flying. Oh yes, this is where even more sticker sheets made by my absolutely cool artist friends come in. Because I was really just like, okay, I'll use them up. Look at this little derpy Jow. I barely play Genshin nowadays, but I don't know. I feel like the characters are still in my heart sometimes. Look at these little nuggets. Oh my god, yes. This day was cool because this is when I went to the High Tide store here in the city. If you ever are here, do feel free to check it out. I feel like the store itself has such a great vibe. Honestly, whoever did the interior designing, good job. I feel like they really hit the mark for what High Tide is. But yeah, there's not too much rhyme or reason here. I was getting ready, or I had already gotten on the plane to go visit family by this time. I think I was getting ready because I think in like a day or two, I think most of these pages had to be backlogged. This was the start of when things had to be backlogged. Actually took some more time because I had at least mixed up some stickers here. Yeah, this is where my travel notebook came in handy, or else there was no way I was going to be able to backlog any of my trip. This is actually a tree I made out of washi tape. So if you ever want to really burn some washi tape, I feel like this is a really great method. If you really try to overlay the tape, especially if it's like a, kind of a nice basic simplistic pattern, not only could you basically make it into any shape you want, but you also use up quite a lot of washi tape doing this. So just so you know, maybe you could at least make little trees out of washi. I feel like it works as long as the washi tape itself doesn't have like really specific, like really detailed characters or like a lot of words in it. Yeah, I remember I had gotten this kind of textured tape as like a loop. So I think when I was backtracking this, I just like grabbed it off my desk and just decided to mix it with some other stickers I had gotten from a friend. And this looks like a marker. Remember to make sure to test your markers and things. Sometimes they get kind of finicky. Okay, I kind of liked what I did here. It's just adding using the Sailor Shikiori markers again. Just add little squiggles around the stickers. I think this turned out kind of cute. It makes it look more comic-y. Should do this more if I get stickers. That's a great idea. See, because you just like, especially if the sticker's just a little derpy, just like make it look kind of comic-y. You could do it. Okay, I really Picasso'd with this one because this is actually watercolor, and then I took a really thin marker and just kind of made little details in here. Because I like this little star fruit looking thing. So I was just like, yep, we're gonna use it. And I think I did the same thing here. No, this time I just like did leaves. I love this one. Just look how funny that is. I feel like it's the legs. It's the legs that get me. It's so good. I can't believe that this was the last page of 2025. So I think definitely December. Use your markers and try to add some pizzazz around your stickers. That was a solid idea. I I'll give myself credit for for that. Big brained over there. But no, in general, there's definitely a lot of things I could take from 2025 in general, which I think, maybe just like debrief real quick, because this was a lot. This was a lot, folks. But I guess this is like going into extended time, right? But first off, what I'm absolutely going to continue is just using the monthly section to indicate what inks I'm using. However, for 2026, I'm going to use a new ink every single week. Now, you might be asking, why exactly every single week a new ink? What I realize is that after a while, especially if you put these inks in the inkwell, there's depending on how much you have, you could actually be so close to running out that you can't even get your nib in there. So, instead of doing more than a week and then praying that you have enough, I'm just going to do a week. And that seems to work, even if I have 5 milliliters, 3 milliliters, or even just a little bit less than 3 milliliters. But yeah, I'm probably not going to do brand themes anymore. I have narrowed my ink stash down quite a bit. So whatever inks I did not use for 2025, you'll see completely different inks hopefully for 2026, or at least I'm trying not to repeat any inks. Whatever inks I used in this one, if I had any of it left, gave it out to a friend, it got thrown into the swap pile. Hope someone's using it, and I hope you're loving it. So this is the first thing that I'm absolutely doing the same thing for next year. Since I used up all my PET tape for the most part, there's like a dribble of PET tape left. I will use whatever I have, but I'm going to actually try my best to not buy any more in 2026. I want to actually see if I could hit like empty on PET tape. We're gonna see, because it seems like it actually has been pretty easy for me to grab additional PET tape with the amount of stationery swaps I go to during the month. I know that's such a big privilege. I do appreciate people actually coordinating these swaps, allowing me to be there. I mean, I do love an open invite, to be honest, but I love just sitting there chatting with people, poking at what people are doing, because like, even if you don't like what you're doing on your spread, I think a lot of y'all are geniuses, and I give you credit for that, especially the people that few of you that have been commenting on my YouTube videos. Love you guys. I really hope 2025, I don't know, even if your journal didn't turn out exactly how you wanted it to, you still like the process of the year, honestly. So I do like the watercoloring though, and in fact I liked the second to last, this, adding a little pen marks with the watercolor. I will definitely, since I narrowed down my watercolor palette to just a very simple watercolor palette, in fact maybe I will actually take it out just so people can finally have an actual reference to what I'm using for watercolor, especially moving forward. It's just this little palette right here. I got this at Stationery Fest. It was taken Stationery Fest in 2024, and these are the exact colors that I'm using. As you can see, I did refill this a little bit. This brown is, I think I might have to refill that a little bit more, but this is being used. This is, in fact, going to be the only watercolors I have, because I still have plenty of these colors in the tube. So even if I run out of some, or it gets kind of low, I can always refill it back up. So we're going to use this. We're going to use this a lot more in 2026. No more other watercolors. I love colors, but I don't need any more. I probably just need to understand how to mix a little bit better. It's just trying to use what I have and trying not to accumulate stuff that I may or may not forget about, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I think overall, I mean, that was funny with me putting the trading cards in. I'm not gonna lie, that is hilarious. I do hope that if I get PET tape, I could kind of spread it all around. But obviously, if I go somewhere, I hope I could grab some stickers, just like the aquarium. That one was lovely. Absolutely. I think sometimes I might need to bring some paper for when people have their stamps at a few stationery meetups. It's not anyone's fault, but that ink, I think that ink goes through like most fountain pen paper for some odd reason. Yeah, definitely more watercolor. And we're still going to use up our pens. Oh, also, I'm only trying to use an ink a week because some of these shimmer inks, as they like evaporate down, it will smudge. You'll actually get more shimmer than ink in your dip pen, especially if you're like me and you use a dip pen. It'll really start like bleeding through a little bit, smudging everywhere. So learn from me at this point. But I think if I feel like acrylic would work for the day, I'll still try to do some acrylic paint. I still have so much acrylic paint, folks. So we'll keep trying here. I still like, if I get a small piece of candy, I could just stick it in like this. These little plastic corner stickies is so handy. It's just that if you try to put like a Polaroid though, it might be kind of hard because that's like really thick. But a lot of the layering here just like works out with the stickers and the acrylic. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, and I wanted to do more washi tape like this, but thinner. Right, I do remember saying that. So yeah, I hope in 2026, you guys could definitely follow my journey as I keep continuing. And hopefully, actually taking my lessons learned over here. Oh my god, I saw one with the good washi tape that I liked. This like layering. Kind of looks like chocolate mousse. Just taking the lessons learned and just carrying it over. And so, just loving what I do. I do appreciate everybody for honestly just being here. And because oh my god, this is the most consistent I've ever been with videos for the most part. Apologies that it was a bit bumpy, but I'll try to get back to some kind of schedule this time around. Besides that, we completed a whole 12 months. And you can see how chunky this hibino is. If you do follow me on Twitch, if you ever want to see this, feel free to ask me to pull it out. It did hold up, besides the fact that it's just that where the signatures get held together and then here it's separated a bit. But besides that, it pretty much held up quite good to the chunk that it is. Hopefully by the end of January 2026, or even just like the beginning of February 2026, we'll go over January in the new hibino. Very excited. But yeah, stay safe out there. Happy writing. And I'll see you guys on the next one in a whole new, well, at least fresher for the most part, midori hibino. Bye, guys.